Hello, I'm Carl Brown. Welcome to Growing Pains, taking your business to the next level. Today's guest is Cheryl Wood, president of Cheryl Wood Empowers. Cheryl is an international motivational speaker, leadership expert, and business coach. Cheryl works with new and emerging entrepreneurs to help them gain clarity, focus, and strategies for building successful and sustainable businesses. Cheryl, welcome to Growing Pains.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So why did you become an entrepreneur?
Wow, I think my story was that of so many women who, as a mom, a busy mom, I felt like I was existing versus living life. And that was because I was running the corporate rat race. So any given day, I was dropping my kids off at about 6 o'clock in the morning and not getting back to them until 6 o'clock in the evening. So in my mind, I felt like somebody else was raising my children, and it just wasn't enough for me. I wanted something different. I wanted to be able to create a legacy for my children, and I wanted to be able to build financial stability on my own. And that is really what made me embark upon the whole idea of becoming an entrepreneur, and I guess somewhat building my own enterprise.
Okay, now I hear about fears. People always talk about the fear of starting a business. So how does one overcome that fear?
You know, I don't know if anyone can overcome the fear. I guess from my vantage point, it's about acknowledging when you feel fear, when it's a situation where you're stretching yourself, where you're reaching new heights in life, and you feel the fear and you say, this is what this is. It's fear, but I'm not going to allow this fear to keep me stuck and stagnant. Instead, I'm going to take this energy and I'm going to turn it into something positive, and I'm going to move forward anyway. I'm going to feel the fear and I'm going to do it anyway. So you might not be able to overcome it. As you continue to grow to new heights in your journey as a business owner, you're always going to have those feelings of fear. Those emotions are always going to come up because you're pushing yourself. You're stretching yourself to new limits. And you're really expanding the boundaries of what you sometimes believe is really possible for you to achieve. So just feel the fear, say this is what it is, and do it anyway.
Okay, now let's talk about mistakes. Because a lot of businesses make mistakes when they're growing. So what are some of the things that business owners or folks that are sitting on the sideline debating whether or not they should start a business, what are some of the mistakes they should look out for?
Well, I've been blessed to coach women across the country
Okay.
who are either new, they're thinking about starting a business, or they're in those first 5 years of business. And probably the biggest mistake I see is not doing your research. So you have these great ideas, you think it's great, it sounds great to you for maybe a new service or products that you're going to introduce into the marketplace, but you don't research it to make sure that there's a need for the service or product in the marketplace. So I have these women entrepreneurs who they're excited, they're passionate, they're hungry, they go out, they create maybe a CD program or a training workshop or something like that. And instead of doing maybe a focus group to see if that's a need, or sending out a survey, or even just sitting down and asking their current clients, what do you want? What is it that you're hungry for? What is it that you're struggling with that you need a solution to? They just throw out services and products in the marketplace, and then they wonder why they're sitting on all this inventory and nobody's actually making purchases. So it's about taking the time to really research before you put things out into the marketplace.
Now, there's a big push, big talk about risk that small business owners take and emerging business owners take. So what is risk, and what should a new business owner look out for?
I would say look out for being comfortable and look out for mediocrity and being average and doing what everybody else is doing. If you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're not able to separate yourself. You're not able to stand out in the crowd. And that's what it takes as an entrepreneur. If you really want to succeed, you have to be able to say, hey, there are a lot of people in the marketplace, but what I have is something unique. It's something that can help you despite how many other coaches there are, despite how many other speakers or whatever the industry is. I'm the person who can help you to get to the solution that you need. And in order to do that, you have to be willing to take the risk and sometimes go in the opposite direction of what everybody else is doing.
Now, let's talk about coaching. I come to you. What kind of process or drills do you run me through? And say that I'm just starting a business and I'm in the 6 month to a year phase. How could you help me?
I think the biggest thing that most entrepreneurs don't make the time to do is to connect to their story. So a lot of times they're jumping into a business either because perhaps they've gotten laid off from a job and now they're desperate, I gotta find a way to make money. Or they see someone else doing something and it looks easy, so they think they can do it. But they never take the time to sit down and connect to what is my story and what is my why. Why am I doing this business? And connecting to that why is so critical, and to your story is critical, because there are going to be times where you're not going to have anybody knocking at your door to pay you for your services or products. So that why, that story, is what's going to be the thing that keeps you going during the tough times in business, during the hard times where you're out on the corner passing out flyers trying to get clients. And so most of my new and emerging entrepreneurs don't sit down and understand what's their real connection to why they chose this industry. So if it's someone, for instance, right now I'm working with a fitness expert, and she never took the time to understand, why did I choose fitness? And initially she just thought she just likes to strive for success. But there has to be a deeper connection. There has to be a deeper story. And once you find that story, you tell that story over and over and over again, and you begin to attract the clients that you really want to work with. But if nobody knows your story, you're just another number, if you will, in the marketplace of people who are selling services and products.
Wow. So let's talk about leadership, because I hear that all the time. People are looking for leaders, and then it's important that we train the next level of leaders. And that's why, when my son said that he wanted to be a Boy Scout, my daughter said she wanted to be a Girl Scout, I thought it was great. And then I was roped into being one of the leaders in the troop. So to me, it's important that I teach leadership. So talk about leadership and how important that is.
Leadership in business is really about acknowledging and understanding that your business involves you, but it's really not about you. Because what you're offering is a solution to other people's struggle. You're saying, hey, I've been through this, been there, done that. I've been through the struggle that you're currently experiencing, and I've found a way to overcome that struggle, to keep going. And now I want to offer you that solution and help you to have that, that space where you don't have to go through all the stuff and sometimes the mess that I went through. That's what it's all about. So understanding as a leader that your responsibility is to create services and products that create solutions, and it's not about what you think looks good, feels good, sounds good. It's about what is the real need. That's a leader.
Okay. Now let's go back to your first day in business.
Wow.
It might be painful,
Yes.
but let's talk about that first day. That first day that you were no longer in corporate America, and it was all dependent on you. What was that like?
Scary.
I
Very
know.
scary, especially when you have a husband at home who's saying, okay, how much did you make today? You go from a full-time, every 2-week paycheck to now I am responsible for whatever I make in this business, whatever revenue I bring in, whatever profit margins, it's all on me. And the problem is, initially when you start, you don't have a team. You're a team of one.
That's
but
right.
as you grow, you begin to build a team, and you begin to find people who are qualified at what they do, and so you're able to delegate and outsource those things. But initially when I started, it was just a team of one. So oftentimes I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm working on contracts, or I'm working on getting out social media posts or a blog. I was doing everything. So it was quite stressful. And the even more stressful part is, as an entrepreneur, you're not guaranteed any specific results. So I think that scares a lot of people, because you can have all of this time and energy and effort and financial resources that you've invested, but there's no real guarantee of what you're going to get on the other side. But you have to believe enough in what it is that you're doing. And that goes back to knowing your story and your big why. You have to believe enough in that it's going to keep you going. And you're going to say, I'm not going to quit. Quitting is simply not an option. I'm going to find a way to make this thing work. And so that was kind of the fuel that was really feeding me on my first day. It was like, first of all, I got to prove my husband wrong that, he was kind of looking at me crazy because I left the every 2-week paycheck. And I was really on this mission to prove him wrong, but also to prove to myself that I could do this. I could make this work.
So what was your passion to leave corporate America? What said, enough is enough, I got to move on?
You know, there's an expression that when a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it. That was me. I was just fed up with being on autopilot. I was fed up with someone else being in control of my destiny, someone else being in control of how much I made. Like, did I cap out? Am I at the ceiling? I can't go any higher than this specific salary. I wanted control. I wanted control of how much I made. I wanted control of what I was doing with my hours during the day. I didn't want that dictated to me. And so that was a burning desire. And to show my children that you can, at any point in your life, you can decide, this is what I want to do. This is my passion. This is what makes me feel alive and nurtured every day that I wake up. And that's the thing I'm going to put all of me into, versus something that's really not giving you the results that you want, which for me was that corporate environment.
So corporate America made you say, okay, I've had enough.
Yes.
And I'm going to start my own business. So did you have a couple of things on the plate, or were you laser focused on the one thing that you wanted to do?
Wow, I was probably all over the place when I started, which is why I love that I get to coach women now, because I get to coach them based on some of the mistakes that I made. And let's face it, any entrepreneur, you're gonna make some mistakes, you're gonna have some failures, but all those things do is they build character, they teach you how to move forward if you allow it to. So I wasn't the woman who, made a mistake or had a failure and said, oh, I'm done, it's over, I can't correct this. I'm a woman who was about creating solutions. Okay, I had this failure, I had this mistake. Now, how do I overcome this and keep moving forward in my journey? So for me, I was laser focused on the result.
Okay.
What I wanted, which was not to have to be able to go back into the corporate environment and to be able to have control of my time. I would be able to go and go to a school play if I wanted to in the middle of the day and then come back and do my business. I wanted that control.
Okay, well, we're about to go to break. When we come back, let's talk about networking.
Okay.
Stay tuned for more Growing Pains when we return.
They do one of two things incorrectly. So they either go around the room and they're just handing everybody.
Prince George's Community College isn't just a place that offers more than 200 academic, workforce development, and continuing education programs. It's the first step toward the career of your dreams. It's a community of people who want you to succeed. It's where degrees are earned and potential is realized. Apply and register today. Call 301-336-6000. Prince George's Community College, transforming lives.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. I'll teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
All right, listen, we all need a little nudge sometimes. I don't function without coffee in the morning, but it is gonna take more than a double mochaccino to help you here.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero oír. Danny, no lo puedo hacer. Quiero oír. Danny, lo voy a hacer.
DMC, liking your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs, just keeping it real.
Louder, louder, I'm gonna get my GED. Come on, get your GED. Hey. Can you keep it down, brother? Thanks.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Quiet, please. Wait a sec. I'll take one. Oh yeah. All right. All good. Take care. Way to go. Nice. Bring it on. Gotcha. I'm here for you. Oh no. Please, please, please. I'm waiting. Interesting. Not buying it. Not fair. That's it. This conversation is over. Oh, brother.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things.
I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke.
Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
Hi, this is Carl Brown. We have Cheryl Wood from Cheryl Wood Empowers here with us today on Growing Pains. And we just came back from break. So before we went to break, we were talking about networking and why that is so important. So as a business owner, networking and building relationships, can you offer guidance to our audience on how to do it properly? Because everyone doesn't know.
That's very true, unfortunately. A lot of times entrepreneurs will go out and network what they think is networking, and they do one of two things incorrectly. So they either go around the room and they're just handing everybody their business card, which does absolutely nothing, because I can't remember you just based on a business card. I need to have a conversation with you. I need to understand your story and something that's going to stick out in my mind to make me want to connect with you after that event. Or they come up and they're strictly in sell mode. So they're this stalker salesperson who's trying to push their product or their services on you, not realizing that there are probably 10 other people in the room who might be selling something similar. So you have to go, you have to approach it from a different vantage point. You have to go in saying, what can I give, not what can I get? And when you go in from that point of view, that you're there to give and support and help someone else, maybe in terms of referrals or sending business their way, that shows the other person that you're not just in it for a quick sale. And I promise you, if you go in with that viewpoint that you're there to serve and give and help before you ever ask, the sale will come.
You are absolutely true, because as a contract officer, and when it was like I was going into a Shark Tank. Yes. Every time I went out, and people would just pounce on me. Oh, we got this product, that product. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, give me a break, right. But yeah, I always say network and have a purpose when you're doing it. Talk about your product and service. Let's talk about branding, because networking is nothing if you don't brand properly.
That's right.
So talk about branding.
I mean, branding is critical. We hear that so much in today's marketplace. And basically, branding is, what do you want your business to be associated with? Think of 3 words that you want people to immediately reference to in your business, no matter where you are in the world. What are the 3 top words that you would want people to say about who you are as a business person and the services and products that you offer? And you brand yourself authentically and credibly by being consistent. So I can't be on social media today posting about one thing, and then tomorrow I'm a completely different person and I come from a different ideology. It has to be consistency. And then also, you can't do something where, okay, I post today or I send a newsletter today, and then you don't hear anything from me for 3 months. I don't send another, or longer, right? Because now your client is wondering, okay, where are they?
Right.
That's not building a credible brand. So you build a credible brand primarily through consistency.
So what about this whole social media thing?
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
It's critical. Number one, it's critical. If you're not on social media as a business owner, you are missing out. And I say that because it's free. It's free advertisement, and it makes you an international business overnight. Like, you could never get the type of reach that you get on social media any other way without spending a whole lot of money. So take advantage of it while it's still free. We don't know what's going to change in the future, but right now it allows you to connect with people all over the world. So not only in terms of making sales, but again, going back to relationships, it allows you to connect with other people who are in your industry and who maybe they have more expertise than you do, and they can share ideas and you can brainstorm together. And then the great part about it is maybe at some point you come together at an event and you get to meet the people that you've built relationships with through social media. And
That's
now you
always.
feel like a family. And I love that feeling. So I highly encourage entrepreneurs to utilize and leverage the power of social media.
Now, is there a case where there's too much social media?
I think so. I think you have to be cautious about what you're posting, how often you're posting, making sure that it's not something that's controversial. You want to be kind of in a safe zone.
Right.
Even though we talk about risk, that's not really one area that you want to take a whole lot of risk.
Right.
Because you want your customers who follow you and come to see you every day to, again, it's about that consistency and making sure your message is pretty much always the same all the time. So in my instance, on my social media, my Facebook page, I will go in and I'll post my Fearless Entrepreneur tip at the beginning, the top of the morning, every morning. You know you're going to get that post between 8 and 9 o'clock every morning. And my clients, my customers, the people who follow me, my fans, they're used to that. And if it's not there, I'll get a Facebook note or a message or a text or an email saying, hey, I was looking for that. So you have to be consistent.
Well, it goes back to the whole franchise theory. A franchise is something that they build a brand, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. When you walk into a 7-Eleven, the counter's over here and the soda aisle is over here on the left, wherever you go. And that's what they want to see. That's what customers want to see. People, once they buy into your brand, like you said, they know between 8 and 9 they're going to get that email, they're posting.
Absolutely.
And they're looking for it.
The social media helps you to build an online presence, a strong online presence. When was the last time you picked up the Yellow Pages to look for a business? Or look for a phone number.
It's been a long time.
Okay, very long. So you're probably going to Google, or some search engine to find businesses, or to Google someone's name and find out who they are and what they're about. And if you only have a website, if you're not leveraging every platform for a business owner, those social media sites, then those search engines aren't going to find you. I had some of the top customers that I've worked with. Disney called me. Do you know where they found me? Social media. I specifically ask people when they call me for a job, I say, where did you find me? How did you find me? Some of my top speaking engagements and coaching clients have been because people found me on social media.
What are some of the ones that our businesses or the folks that are out there that are teetering on getting in the game, what are some of the better social media sites for them to be on?
You know, there are hundreds. I think you have to be clear about where your client is.
Okay.
For me, I started building my base of fans and followers on Facebook. They followed me from when I was doing T-shirts, out at events, to growing into the speaking and coaching business. They followed me through going from corporate America into a full-time business as an entrepreneur. And so I built my fan base and followers through that. And so that's what I stick with. I usually use the top 3, which are Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. But if you're a person who your industry is based on visual, then maybe you need to be on Instagram. Maybe you need to be on Pinterest. You have to decide and discover and take the time to research where your clients really are.
Right, because that's important.
Yes.
It's part of your business plan, it's part of your marketing plan, and you need to know on social media where your clients are and who they are.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you being an author.
Yes.
You gave me your book, How I Flatlined and Woke Up in 45 Days. I loved it. Read it cover to cover. I didn't even put it down. Talk about that. Before we talk about the content of the book, what was the passion behind you wanting to write the book?
That's a good question, because I never considered myself a writer. Like, I wasn't one of those people who, I'm an English major and I'm going to write this amazing book. But I had a story to tell. Again, it goes back to story. And the connection with my clients was that many of them were in the situation just like me. They were frustrated with their current situation, but they didn't believe that there was any way out of it. And so I wrote the book as really my story of how I felt stuck too, but I decided to take risks. I decided to step outside of my comfort zone without guarantees. I tried it anyway. I faced my fears. I did it anyway. And this was the result. And a big part of being able to do that, to push yourself beyond comfort and beyond familiarity, is being able to really understand the power of your thoughts. And your thoughts really do impact your actions. If you don't believe there's any other way, if you don't believe you're going to be successful as a business owner, if you believe you're always going to be broke, then that's what you're going to be. So I really highly encourage my clients to shift that mindset, shift your daily thoughts, your thoughts by the minute, not even the day, by the minute. If you, as soon as you feel like you're going down a negative path, have a switch, like a light switch, where you turn it off and you say, okay, no, I'm going to focus on something positive, and what can I do to move me closer to my big dream, what I'm saying that I really want to accomplish as a business owner.
Now, when I first went to college, my uncle gave me a book called The Power of Positive Thinking. And I read that book, and I've been living by that model ever since. We're about to close out, but what pearls of wisdom can you drop on our audience on how to start a business or how to sustain a business?
It's about having that that mindset that nothing is going to stop you from creating the reality that you want. If it's truly the picture that you want, you have what it takes with what you have in your arsenal right now. Don't feel like you got to go out and get another degree and you got to go out and get more experience. Right. Use what you have right now based on the experiences in life, based on the struggles in life, based on your story. Use that to get started. See, it's people who get started that get in the game. If you stay on the sidelines and convince yourself why you can't do it, why you're not going to succeed, then you're always going to be sitting on the sidelines. So don't sit on the sidelines. Jump fully in the game. You're not going to have all the answers, but you can do it.
So, say it again, because I tell you, so many people come to me and they go, I want to start a business, but they never get in the game.
That's right.
And they have great ideas. And I'm going, wow, there's a need for that. And what we try to do at the center is help people focus and jump right in the game. So, Cheryl, it's been a pleasure. We love having you on the show.
Thank you.
It's been great, and thank you for joining us today. We will see you next time as we continue to help you take your business to the next level. To find out more information about the CMBD Accelerator Program, call us at 301-583-5205 or visit us at our website at www.cmbd.biz.